So welcome everybody to the CMA class. Of course, this is the CMA, the MiRealSource way, because there are plenty of ways to do CMAs. You a lot of his tips and tricks and his insiders. You know, he's been a realtor for a couple of years now.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
Not giving away any ages here. Because the way we do our CMAs are not through the CMA presentation through Paragon. Dave DeReese, our CEO, bought CloudCMA for all of our members because he didn't really think that the Paragon CMA was all that great. So what he did was buy the CMA product. So what we do is we want to search around your subject property by using the map in Paragon, make our selections and bring them over to CloudCMA, as opposed to doing a quick and dirty CMA, which is one thing we always preach. If you're going to be a realtor and a qualified real estate licensee, a quick and dirty just isn't the right way to do it. I mean, there's plenty of quick and dirties out there. I think even HomeSnap offers a CMA that it'll guide you through picking some of the comparables and you can do a CMA in RPR, you can do a CMA in Realist. What else can we do CMAs in?
Several third-party websites offer you their version of what you feel your home is worth, which is basically a CMA.
There you go. Yeah, you're right. Every banking institution
I won't name those companies that start with Z's right now.
We do have a couple of handouts in today's class. There is the long version of how to create a CMA, which goes into great detail. We also have the lead generation portion of what's your home worth on how to post that. And we have the live version of CMA as well. So those are some of your handouts that are here. Feel free to download those. And Chris will also show you where you can find those and all of our handouts in Paragon.
So I'm going to log off here. You won't see you're going to see my Paragon screen. The audio should work. My video should go away, pop up. And I am going to turn off my video feed. So we're going to get started. And as Debbie said, everything here starts through Paragon search. And I can't stress enough how important it is to do a good CMA with AI information out there that your potential clients can go ahead and mine now and look into and find out for what their home is worth and all that other stuff. Your expertise, especially in a local market area, really smart and could help get you, get you that listing, which is what we all would like right now. So with that, I'm gonna show you how to do a CMA. It's the way I do it. The presentation here, there are times where I'm going to say, hey, check with your broker and see how they want to do it, or if you've been doing it long enough and you want to tweak things, but by all means, go ahead and do it. There are a couple other agents that Debbie has on staff that we are all trainers, and we all do things a little bit differently, and that's the beauty of it. None of these are like locked in stone. So going to be with us the whole time. So I am going to try to get to your questions. If you have any, I'll try to look at them from time to time while I'm speaking, and we'll go from there. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. And basically, you start the CMA when you get that phone call that says, "Hey, Chris, we're thinking of listing our house. We'd like to have you come over and take a look at it, and go from there. Can you tell us what our home is worth?" I always, when I go on a CMA appointment, I always take along with me a listing agreement. I feel my intention to go honestly where I'm going to actually do a presentation for a CMA. I want to get that listing, and if I convince them right there, I'm going to try to get them to sign that contract and walk out the door. So I always keep that in my little briefcase, backpack, whatever I carry with me that day if I go to present a CMA live at somebody's home. So with that, I get a call from somebody. They live at 4675 Donahue. Oh, by the way, side note, you can kind of follow along with me. I do move a little bit quickly, so you might get a little lost. It's more to see the steps and the processes to build all this stuff. This will be saved and later on downloaded onto our YouTube channel, and I'll show you where you can find all that at the end if you can review it and take a look at it and see if you want to get caught up on any of the steps I did. So anyways, let's get going. I get a call from Tara Lewis. She lives at 46675 Donahue Avenue, Macomb, Michigan. And she heard through a friend that I'm a pretty good real estate agent, and she wanted me to come over and talk to her about possibly listing her home. I offered up to her a CMA at no charge. So she said, okay, yeah, we set an appointment date. So now I'm going to run the CMA for her. The first thing I always do whenever I get a call from somebody is I always come in here to BS&A online and go and see, just pull their house up. So for those of you who don't know what I just did, sorry, I'll back up. It starts on your main Paragon search page here under tax, and then we have BS&A online. BS&A online is the municipal directory that almost all the municipalities put their general tax information in, and that's where I start all my searches. Sometimes some municipalities got to pay a little $2 fee to get the information. There's ways to work around that, going through Realist and other things. Personally, I just pay the $2 fee. It's not like my volume so much that a couple $2 fees, $4, $6 a month on the municipalities where I have to pay. It's worth the information to me. So you come in here, the first thing I gotta do is we gotta select Macomb. As you see, there's Macomb County, City of Macomb, and then Macomb Township. That's the one we want. It'll come up, and you enter the address right here, which is 46675 Donahue. And we do a search. The reason I start with the property tax search is, first off, I got a call from one individual. Her name was Tara. Here's the property. You click on that and highlight it on the section, and it loads the data. I can see right now that the property owner is Tara Lewis. If this were in an estate, or if it were a trust or something else, that property owner would be there. If there were more people on the name, if there were 2 people on the name, on the title, both those names would show up. And the reason I want to check this first on the tax records is to make sure if I'm dealing with a trust, there's certain information I'm going to want to get if I'm get the listing appointment. Also, if I'm dealing with the trust or somebody on the title, I want to know who, are they even authorized to sell on behalf of the trust? And if there are 2 names on there, I want to make sure both people are going to be there as well. Again, my intention to going to meet somebody in person to give them a CMA or to send them a CMA, I want to make sure that all the parties who have to sign a listing agreement hear the information I give out. I have had cases where I've gone there. It was I presume a husband and wife. It was 2 names, male, and when I sat down at the table, there was only one party there. She wanted to sign the listing agreement. She said her husband was out of town, but it was okay. She could sign for them. That was a huge red flag for me, so I walked away. Again, I start with BS&A. I see there's only one name on here, and that's why I go here to see who the property has. It's fairly accurate. If someone made a change and a quick claim deed, it may not be there, but at least it's fairly accurate. And I also just kind of see the tax information, make sure that they're paid up to date on all the taxes. So I know what I'm kind of dealing with. Some municipalities also have this building department tab. I look here to make sure that they all are finalized. I have had a couple of situations where people put in decks and they were open. I brought this to their attention and they're like, oh yeah, we just forgot to get it finalized, and they went and got it finalized. You don't want to have any problems going through the whole listing process. So I just check all this general information. I save this on my screen on my laptop, and then I actually load this page into the CMA. The reason I do that is because it tells about the home. Mostly it tells what the square footage of the home is. And this is what the municipality has on record of 2,076 above grade square feet. So that's why I keep it and I include it as part of my CMA. Again, you don't have to, so I would save this screenshot. So now that I know the information about the house size and some other things, this is what I use to set up my search criteria going forward back in Paragon. So I'm going to close these 2 tabs out. Now we're back in Paragon. We're going to do your basic home search right here. It's a residential search. We want to, and when I do CMAs, I include solds and pendings. Appraisers typically try to only go with closed properties because that shows the true value of the property. However, when I do a CMA, I like to include actives and pendings as well because that shows the people what their potential competition is. All right, if you're going to list on a street and there's 3 other listings, you want to be in the mix of where they're at if your home's similar to those. Same with pendings. I consider pending because it hasn't closed as your competition because we don't know what the final closing cost is and everything else, so I include pendings in mine. Because we have included saved and pendings, you have to include a date range or it'll go back forever. We're going to only go back 6 months. Just a little side note here, I've already run this search, so I'm going a little quicker than I normally would through here. I'm just kind of showing you the steps so we can get to the important process, which is the CMA. So we have our status. We went back our 6 months. I'm going to hold off on how I'm going to search for the property right now. I'm going to put in my square footage. I'm going to go, the property we're looking at is a 2,076 square feet. So I'm going 1,900 to 2,200. The best thing to do is just kind of put in information and see what comes up to get you a good CMA. And then from that, you can start narrowing it down to get smaller number of properties showing up. So again, because I already did the search this morning, I know 1,900 to 2,200 is kind of a good square foot amount. What we normally say is 100 or 200 square foot above and below the actual square footage. If this were an area where a subdivision where there were some older homes built in northern Sterling Heights, they're doing a lot of construction on Ryan Road and all that. There are homes that were built in the early 2000s, and there were homes built, in the last 4 years. I would put in a date range because I don't want to include, if I have a house that was built in 2000s, I don't want to include something in my CMA that was built, a year or two ago. Although that helps the overall price of properties in the neighborhoods go up through a appraisal standpoint, I just want to try to compare like homes to like homes. But in this case, I'm not putting in a year built or anything else like that. We're going to come up here and search by map. So you select here, and then there is you enter the address right here, 46675. And when you click on this little search button, it takes you there. I know that's in the right general area, and I want to search. I'm going to go within a 3/4 mile radius of that property. The reason I want to go 3/4 mile radius is I just feel that's a good general area right there. If I click on search radius, it shows me where the radius is I'm searching and where the homes are located. These little numbers mean that there's a cluster of homes there, too close to show the individual flags. If I just on the menu on the side here just expanded more, they'll start showing up better. Okay, and so this is at the oops, went too far there, right there. You could also do it where if you wanted to, our basic search, if you wanted to draw the search, you could take the polygon field and you could select an area if you knew an area and just draw it like that, and that would bring in some more homes. I went with the radius one. And a little side note, if you don't want this search in here, just come up here to edit. This was the polygon one. I'll click on that and that'll remove that information from my search. So this looks pretty good. I got several properties here. I'll come up here and actually run the search. And right here, anytime I want to change my criteria, it looks like I have 11 properties. That's pretty good. I could come back and change my criteria if I wanted to, or we saw how to edit the map search. So these are 11 properties. I have, a few actives in there, a few pendings, and a few closed, which I like to have when I'm submitting to my clients. Sometimes in some markets, when I've done CMA recently, all I've had is closed. There's no actives and there's nothing pending in there. So if for some reason if I didn't get any of this, I could just enough properties that I liked, I could come back to criteria and I could change this to 12 months and see if that will bring me more properties. And in this case, it did. It brought me 21. That is way too many properties to go through for me. I'm just showing you what it looks like. I don't need 21 properties. So we just come back to criteria. I'm going to change my date range to 6 months. And we're back to our 11 properties. Now at this point, I'm just going to go a little quickly through here. You would take the time and go through each one of these properties and kind of see what makes them similar and what makes them different, and just weed out the properties that kind of don't fall in line with what you're looking for. You know, this looks to be a split level. Maybe I don't want to use that property, but I would go through, I would look at all the photos, I would pull them up, and I would see, for instance, if someone had a pool in the backyard, I might take that one out of the property mix because there may not be a lot of pools in this area. If, you know, if somebody had a property with a big barn or a big shed in the back or a sunroom, I might take that one out. I don't necessarily take out anything that doesn't have, like, keep all finished basements in and all unfinished basements out or whatever. I try to go to a CMA appointment with what I feel are good, better, and best pricings in the neighborhood. The reason being, I haven't seen this client's house. I haven't walked through it. I don't know what their fit and finish is like. I don't know what amenities they have in the home. Maybe they have granite. Maybe they still have Formica. Maybe they've painted. Maybe they haven't. Things like that. So I want to take a representation of homes. So when I'm this, and at least know in my head what a good representation of homes is in the market. So when I go and sit down with them after walking through the house, I can have a better conversation with them as to what would be a good price range for them. So you would look at through all the photos for each property, and then the properties you like as you go through. If you like this property, just click up here on this little box next to your name to save the property, and you keep going through all of them until you come through with a good number of properties that you like. I'm going to go back to the default spreadsheet. I'm just going to pick a couple random. I'm doing them randomly here just so we can, just so we can get a good CMA here. I'm going to get a couple actives. Oh my God, what is going on? Sorry about that. It keeps bouncing back on me. Let's just do it this way. MLS default spreadsheet. We'll grab, this one's a pending here. This one's active down here. Again, I don't know if I would necessarily include all these, but having looked through them, I'm just trying to do some a little quicker here so we can get a good representation of what's going on. And make a nice CMA. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 6 selected. I got 1 pending, several closed. All right, I like these. So let's say I did do my due diligence and check all the property. This was a good representation, and I wanted to include these properties in my CMA. So all you do is you come up to where it says checked, click on those, and it just pulls these 6 properties together for you. You still, if you wanted to see them all again, just click on all, and it'll re-show all the properties. Yep, and I want to take this one out just so you can see a little better, and I want to add this one here as a closed property. Here are my checked properties. Now at this point, there are 2 ways to do a CMA. We have through MiRealSource, through Paragon, we have what they call the quick view summary of a CMA. To get that, here are your properties. Come over to the right side of the screen where it says reports. Scroll all the way down to where it says CMA. And in CMA, you have you have the quick view, the summary, and the spreadsheet. The quick view is just that. It gives you a quick view of the properties. Okay, there are 2 pages here. The only issue with both these reports that you're going to see here in CMA, it doesn't give you a comparison back to your original property. So I can show the information, but they can't kind of see what their home, how their home compares to it. The other report, and I use this report quite a bit, is the CMA summary. The CMA summary right here puts your actives, your solds, and your pendings. It gives you information about all them. It summarizes it up here and underneath each category: average, minimum, maximum, median. And what also is nice about this is you can customize these fields. And I like that because if I had a client that was interested in a particular feature or something that they wanted to see, I could put that in here in my fields for them to see. I had one client, for some reason, was really obsessed with bedroom size. He thought they were different in many of the homes. Even though I gave him the listing tickets, or even though, you know, they just wanted to see the bedroom sizes in the home. So what I did was I added the columns that showed all the bedroom sizes there. You can also use this summary report if you had buyers and you were showing them homes and you brought all those addresses in and did a quick search on all those. You can pull up this report as a quick way to show them all the homes comparisons that are active, pending, and the ones that have sold, and any information that was relative that they wanted to see. You could give them this report as a kind of a quick way to see what the homes have been going for. I have a couple of buyers that I'm working with right now. We've been trying to get homes. We've written several offers. We just haven't been successful. And I run this report for them every week or so to show them kind of what the homes we looked at and what has happened with them. Anyways, so this report is really good. It has multiple functions to it. If you want to change any of these headings in here, for instance, I kind of make all my actives, sold, and pendings look the same. As you see down here in pending, I have the area. I don't have that in any of these other ones. So to change any of these fields, you come up to where it says customize, go to fields, click on fields. And again, the only thing I don't like about this is where it says status, you have to select the one you want to change. And right now I want to change the pending status. And it's, you see I have area municipality here. I don't like it. Just click on the box to highlight it, hit remove. It takes it out of there. You have to save it. And now that column is out of there. If I wanted to add a column, all you would have to do again is come up here, customize, fields. Again, you have to, if you want to make all three active, pending, and sold look the same, you have to do it 3 times. You'd come to active. I'm already in active. Just type up here. Do I got days on market in there? I do. If there was something I wanted to add in here, let's see, bedrooms. You could do bedroom, first floor covering, all that other stuff. If you wanted to add the individual bedroom criterias in here, if you're not sure what you want to look for, you could just scroll through each one of these. Oh, a good one I have sometimes, hold on one second. Yeah, under the sold one, I sometimes add concessions. I'm not finding a lot of concessions in today's market, but pre-COVID, there were a lot of concessions going out there. So in the sold field, I want to see if they have concessions. Buyer's concession and concessions amount. So I can do, sorry, we're just going to have concession amount, hit add, and because we're in the sold field, it'll add it to the sold field, and then you can move them around however you want. I'm going to put it under sold price right here. We'll save that. None of these homes had concessions. Pre-COVID, 2018, you would see some of these homes would have, there are a couple homes that had like $10,000 in concessions in there. That's good for me to know. That's how quickly you can add something in the CMA. And again, this CMA is found under CMA summary on the right side. This is kind of a quick way. This has multiple uses, this CMA summary. Again, I use this a lot with my buyers after I've showed them multiple homes and I know some of them had started closing, so that they could see what they sold for kind of quickly. Let us know that maybe we need to increase what we're offering for homes right now, or maybe we're good. So recap this, how to get to CMA summary. You do your basic search. It results in several homes. In this case, we had 11. We selected the homes that closely matched what we wanted, we felt matched our subject property. We selected those homes, clicked on check, then came to the far right, went all the way down to CMA summary and pulled it up. Right there it is. And it shows the actives, pending, and sold. That's a kind of a quick version of a CMA. And it's also a very good one because you, the agent, selected the homes. You know what you're looking at. Now when you're sitting down with that potential client, you can talk to them in a more knowledgeable fashion about what is available in their market area. Also from here, if we go back to this search, the other way is through CloudCMA. CloudCMA is a pretty powerful tool. Okay, so CloudCMA is a pretty powerful tool. I really like it. There's a lot you can do with it. It's the same process to get from your search into the CMAs, the CloudCMA. You go through the selection process, you narrow it down to the properties you want, and then you come up here to where it says actions, right here on actions. Select actions, and you go to CloudCMA. And this will load all the data for you. Agents who have been around long enough and aren't familiar with CloudCMA used to have to save all the data. You have to save all the MLSs, write them in, manually enter all the MLSs, hope you didn't type anything wrong. But it automatically pulls those information all in right here on the bottom. The other thing CloudCMA allows you to do is what they call a quick and dirty. I don't like this because it just through artificial intelligence, it randomly pulls whatever criteria we set here for them to create a CMA. Again, I want to demonstrate my value and worth as a realtor by my knowledge in the area. That's why I choose to do my CMA this way. And actually, I can do a CMA in about an hour. A really, really pretty good one. So that's why I like to go through this. It keeps me knowledgeable in the market area, and again, that's what I bring to the table. So you go to name the report. I just typically name it the name of the whoever the person is. I put it in there. That's what's going to appear on your CMA cover. You'll see that. Private notes are just that. If you wanted to put private notes in here, it would show up. It doesn't show up on the report, but it's reminders for you. Enter the property address. It already preloaded right here. I'm going to grab that. The bedrooms and baths are wrong. I know that. It has one full bath, and it has more than one bedroom. I know that. I think it has 3 bedrooms. Yeah. So I'm going to put this in here for 3. For some reason, it didn't carry over correctly. It is residential. If you have advanced info, lot size, that came off the BS&A tax information. Can't find that right now. But the frontage, year built is 1979. That's correct. Garage is a 2-car garage. Area, subdivision, so you can enter all this information if you want. The square footage I am going to put in there off of the BS&A tax info is 2,076. So I got that in there. The lot is 0.20 acres. Okay. We'll just leave that for right now. I am going to show you how to bring in a cover photo later on. And right now I'm going to leave it with no cover photo. So that's the first page to create a CMA report. Again, it pulled in all your listings as needed. At this point, you either at the bottom of the screen, you have fetch listing, or up here at the top, hit fetch listings. And now CMA will start generating the report. What's nice about CloudCMA, unlike the quick summary CMA, is this will actually show your comparison property or the subject property. Right here is the property, Donahue Avenue. And then here are all the ones that I brought in. You have the ability to sort them in different ways. You can sort beds, bath, list price, all that other stuff. I'm going list price and I want lowest to highest. That puts them in order like that. So you can do that pretty quickly there, or you can move them around individually however you want. You can move them down, just click on them and move them in the order that you'd like. The actives would be up here and then pendings would be here. Okay, so that's how you move them around. I don't put in a suggested list price. For the biggest reason is I haven't seen their home. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know if they have good landscaping, if the backyard's trashed, you know, is the basement finished or unfinished. Again, I don't want to put in a list price there until I see the home, because if I put in something high and the home isn't at the high category for the neighborhood, I'm kind of stuck with that. If I put in something low and now they're offended, they're not going to call me back. So this page right here just shows you the properties that you have. If you wanted to add another listing, you just click here, add a listing, and add that in there. Let's say you found another one you wanted to add in there. If you wanted to do details and adjustments for a property, you can also click on details and adjustments, and all you do is type in the adjustment that you want to make here and the dollar value, either a plus or minus. Personally, I don't get into details and adjustments. I'm not a licensed contractor. I don't build. Building prices go up and down. I don't know if a new kitchen is going to bring 20,000 or 10,000 or hurt your property. So I just don't talk to adjustments. I just say, and I'm not a licensed appraiser who also deals with adjustments. All I'm saying when I sit down with my client is, here's your home compared to what other homes have in the area, and here's where your good pricing range for you to be. But if you're somebody who is more confident like that, or has some more training and would like to get into the whole adjustment, you can do that right here by putting in an adjustment. And let's say I put in for a finished basement, just so you can see. You type in the dollar amount, 10,000, and you click save. Now you can come in here and let's say whatever pool or something you wanted to take out. You can also put in, I'm just gonna, although you would never do this, you unfinished. I forgot the I, sorry. Unfinished basement, you could also come in and say minus 10,000, and it'll adjust the price either way, and you click save it. The reason I'm showing you this is so you can see how to add stuff. Every time you add something, it puts in a new line automatically for you. I'm gonna get rid of both of those. So that's how you would do adjustments if you needed to, and then you click update and it would update that property. Again, if you feel like doing it, it's available there for you. Once you have your listings all set up in the way you kind of like the way they look, you go to customize report. You can there are 3 places you can go to customize report. This green tab here, this one at the bottom, or simply just click right up here on customize. So we'll go to customize report. Now it starts pulling your whole report together. And this is where you as the agent can really kind of personalize your report. The first thing you have is you have themes. You have all kinds of themes here. You have modern blue, and just scroll through these, see what's there. The modern themes give you a little different look in your report than the classic themes, which are down, where'd it go? Down in the bottom there, classic themes down here. I like this modern vivid blue and gray, but you can go with any color that you want. If you go to look at the report after you're all done and you still want to change the color, you can just come up here and change the theme at any time, and you'll be okay. It also saves it from report to report. So every time I pull it up, it's going to go with the same one. I'm a modern blue and silver right now. I'll show you what modern vivid blue and gray looks like. That's that one. I was on modern blue and silver. Well, that's the one I kind of like here. It's a little more toned down, so I'm going to choose that as my theme. Applying the theme here. Cover. These are covers that you have to pay for. I don't pay for them. I don't feel that in the market that I'm in, the ones that are offered through CloudCMA look good and pretty good, and so that I don't need to go to a custom cover. But if you want to, you can certainly try them for free or sign up for them. It gives you a wider range to customize your report. It's up to you. Again, I don't use those. The font you can change. We do offer different fonts in here. Kind of shows you how it looks for the report and what's going to come up. Anywhere there's information, it's going to change the way it comes out. I don't even know what I have now because I'll just go with, we're going to go with cabin. The layout. There are different layouts. You can do a photo with the map, 2 photos, photo with max data, all these different ones. The 2-column, 3-column, and 4-column comparison, there is differences between them, and I'll kind of show you what they are when we do it. Right now, I'm going to pick, I don't usually use the 2 photos. The reason I don't use the 2 photos is because you as the agent pulling in this information, you can't edit the order the photos are in. And almost all agents, when we load up our photos, we do the exterior shot and then usually coming into the house and going through the kitchen and throughout the house. So what you end up with is you end up with several photos in a row that are kind of the same shots, just different angles. If you use the 2-photo one, you're going to get the primary photo, and if the next one's of the exterior of the house, you're going to get another exterior photo of the house. So that's why I don't like that. A photo with a map, if it's in a subdivision that's kind of well known and they're all really close to each other, I don't use the photo of the map, because also on my cover page where it shows where all the properties are from, it's going to be there. If I was doing something a little more rural and I didn't, I wanted to show them where I was pulling from, maybe I went from a bigger radius, not such a tight radius, search radius, I might show the photo with the map. The one that's pretty nice is photo with max data, okay? And if you want to see what that page looks like, just if you click on it, and then the template, once you get everything set, I'll come to templates and you'll have to name it. Otherwise, it'll go back to your default template. Here, over here, are on the left side are the different chapters that you can pull information from. And over here is what your actual CMA is going to look like on the right side. Right now, I have a lot of pages in there. This is my default template. I'm certainly not going to use all these. You have your title page, and here's what your title page looks like. And why this is loading. It says comparative market analysis. Here's the name, the address, what I named it. Again, I put in Tara Lewis. That's why it was named that. And the date it was run. The only thing it only publishes the date for the day the report was run. So if I set up this report today and want to actually take it to my clients 3 days from now, and I run it today, it'll have today's date on it. So it's a little bit cumbersome, but if I'll get everything set up and saved, and then the actual day of the report, I'll print it out and take it. That way my dates all match. It has your photo on there if you have the photo saved in CloudCMA, and of course my company. This is the cover photo that defaults if you don't have a photo loaded up with the house. I really don't care for it. It kind of shows the subdivision and this purple star right here, which is really hard to see. So what I do is we'll come back up here to criteria. And again, remember, without having to go through my whole report, I'm just going back to criteria. And remember where it said add cover photo? Well, in BS&A, if you recall from the BS&A page, I'll show you that there was a photo of the property there. I already did this in anticipation of the class. I saved that photo to my my screen, to my desktop rather. So I'm going to add that photo in here. So as long as it's saved as a JPEG, which I did, I'll just click on that and I'll click open. And I want to crop it a little bit this way because I don't want their home showing so much. And maybe balance it out on this side a little bit. Hit crop. Now I'm going to hit update listings. Now when I go back to my customize page, on my title page, it should have that photo loaded in there. If not, and I like that a lot better. If there's no photo for me to pull off a BS&A or a previous listing, I may drive by the house if I have several, a couple days between when we set the appointment and while I'm doing the CMA. I might take a nice photo of their property and include it in there on their cover. That's the difference between with a photo and without. I try to get a photo on there. I just think it looks a lot better than that overhead view with that purple star jammed in the middle there. Cover letter, agent resume, I'm pulling these out right now. I don't really include those. What is a CMA is one of those pages that it's pre-formatted from CloudCMA. If you're a newer agent or just an agent that would like a few more talking points to freshen up your presentation, here's a great little thing. You can't edit this document, but it comes like that. But it tells you, kind of gives you a quick explanation as what a CMA is. You see the color of it right now, and I'll show you if we went up and we changed the color theme to, let's say we went to the vivid blue down here on the bottom, modern vivid blue and gray, hues theme. Now when I pull up, get rid of these two, open up what is a CMA, you see how this became that bright blue. So that's what, and my name down here is also bright blue. So that's what you get when you go to different themes. I'm going to leave it this one. I'm not going to change it back. Here's my contact me page. All your information is loaded in here. If you could put in Facebook, Twitter, all those other handles up here. I'll show you how to do that at the end, and it would load all that information there. Map of all the listings. And this is why I don't typically include a photo with a map, because this page is going to be in there, and it's color coded. Actives are green, pendings are orange, and solds are red. So you can see where they are, and the number corresponds to what here's number 7, which is number 7 listing. So that page is already in there. And here's the subject property right here. The subject is purple. You can go through each one of these pages and see what your whole report is going to look like. I'm going to show you a couple pages that are in here and why we may or may not use them. Summary of comparable properties. Again, if you're not sure what these pages are, just click on them and it'll show you what it looks like and what's in there with each one of them, and how the page will look. This listing chapter is a chapter heading, but here's your listing details. Here, remember, I selected the one with a photo with the max data, so this will be the first page, and it shows the public remarks there, and then you have photos. Now the thing is, it only shows when you click on photos, it will only show you the first dozen photos, and again, we have all these photos that are just the first 12 as they have them loaded on the listing. You're not seeing the whole home. If you want to see the whole home, you come up here and under listings, where it says any of these with the arrow that points to the right is a drop-down menu. If you click on that, it'll bring up more items that are available underneath that subject heading. We have more photos. If you click on more photos, it lands it right in this place. Here's the more photos for your first listing that comes up. Here are the rest of the pages on it. So we're not doing the adjustment page, so I'm going to remove that. So you can add and remove pages simply by this red circle will remove it. You have the analyst chapter, comparable property statistics. This is, you may want to include or not include any of these pages as you go through. It's up to you. Sold property analysis, suggested list price. I personally do not include a suggested list price in my CMA anymore. I used to, and I ran into too many discussions with clients before I saw the home, and also what their mindset was. And if they are adamant about a certain price for their home, I may or may not take the listing because I feel it's too high or whatever. But ultimately, if I'm comfortable with it and I take a listing, maybe with the understanding that if it doesn't go a certain way after so long, then we're going to have an automatic price reduction after 2 weeks or 30 days. So I don't put this in there because I don't know where their mind's at yet. So I automatically remove this page. Seller's net sheet, you can have that in there. If your company has your own, you can include that in there, whatever. Again, I'm taking that out because I don't know what the home's going to sell for. You have all these other different pages that you can go through. The nice thing is a lot of these down here at the bottom under the closing chapter. If you're again a newer agent or an experienced agent that may be looking for some talking points to freshen up your proposal, there's some good items in these things. Whether or not you want to include them, these pages in your CMA is up to you. Here's a good explanation about commission distribution if you want to include it. Why you might need a real estate professional, intelligent pricing and timing. In certain markets, this is a really good one about why you want to price it. It's all pre-formatted, you can't change it. But again, it makes your report look a little slicker if you want to include that, a little more professional, and it gives you good talking points before you want to be with somebody. Take that out. Any of these pages you don't want, you can just delete. Staging your home, there's some stuff in there on it. I really encourage you to go through these individual pages and look at some of the items on the pages, and again, talk to your potential client about it. Here's one on showing an open house checklist. It's all in here. You can also include your own. I'm going to show you how to add your own pages at the end. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of these just because I know I'm not going to keep them in my CMA, and I want to get to ultimately showing you guys how to make your CMA. So the other thing, up here under the analyst chapter, I like to include this page right here. It's called Online Value Analysis page. I'll show you why I like to include it. I like to include it for this simple fact right here. The source of this information is Zillow. I feel a majority of my potential clients have already looked at Zillow, Trulia, or some other third-party form to get an understanding of where their home will be, what they feel their home should be listed at. And as you can see right now, for some reason they didn't have the estimate dates here, but Zillow provides this information for this page. And on the day this house was sold, the Z estimate was 338, and it sold for 310. In some markets, these will be filled out, and you'll see right now that based on Zillow, it's running 9.2% over what you're listing at, or in this market, $28,000. And I did a CMA for somebody the other day where Zillow was off by $54,000. I had several closes that all came up with Z estimates that were considerably over what the properties actually closed for. The reason I like to include this page is if I get there and I find out that the potential client has already looked at their Zillow page and is kind of firm on what that number is, it becomes really easy to talk them down or soften their stance when I show them this isn't my information. Zillow's providing the information to CMA to generate these numbers. And as you can see, Zillow's a little bit off in the way they figure their home pricing. Again, it's a good talking tool. That's why I include this page. It's called the Online Value Analysis. And then from there, if you were like I said, I wanted to bring in a couple of custom pages. At this point, we're going to save the template. It's unsaved right now. I want to save it, and it's this first box right here. Always that one, and I'm going to call it Lewis CMA. And hit save. You can save them for whatever you want, but this is saved, which means now if I leave the screen and come back, all those pages I took out are not going to keep coming back in under my default template. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to add some custom pages. If you know beforehand, I normally load my custom pages up first in the custom page format before I do a CMA. I'm not doing it now. I'm doing it kind of in reverse order so that you can see how to add custom pages after you've got your CMA where you want. So to add any kind of custom pages, come up to your icon in the corner, your photo. If you don't have a photo loaded, it'll have your initials or something similar. Click on that right here where it says custom pages. Enter custom pages. Click on custom pages. And we have two types of custom pages we can add. We have PDFs. And we have Word documents that you can create. One other page that I've created that I use is what I call your CMA Criteria Explained. I edit this document for each client. And I'll show you where that is on the custom pages when we go to bring it in. Here are custom pages that I pulled in for previous CMAs that I did. And I already uploaded the BS&A page like I told you, and the Zillow. I screenshot the Zillow, what Zillow's saying their home is. I do include it right after their online value analysis page. I like to include that because, like I said, they already feel their number. Zillow saying their house is worth $381,000, and I want to see when I go through if my data supports that, and also does their home match what my research has found out. But we are going to add a PDF page. The PDF page I'm going to add is I went to Macomb County and I got their fast stats that I want to add to show them how their market is performing. So to add any page that's a PDF, you just simply click on Upload PDF, find it. Again, these are all on my desktop, and it was the Macomb Township stats, fast stats. And just hit open, and now that is going to become a custom page from which I can pull from. So again, we have two kinds: a Word document where you can enter a Word document and then just add it over here, or come down to the bottom. Unfortunately, you got to scroll all the way down to upload a PDF. So we're going to go back to our CMAs now that our custom pages are loaded. We're going to go back to our CMAs. And it's loading. That's why it's spinning right here. Takes a little while. Here we go. Here's the last one I had. We're going to go into Edit, Tara Lewis. And again, remember, I could go through and click Update Listings and go all the way through all the pages, but I know I'm going to customize, so I'm coming right up here to my Customize page. And here are my custom pages. I'm going to drop down to Custom Pages. I want to add my CMA Criteria Explained, my Macomb Township Market Stats, my Donahue Zillow page, and my Donahue BS&A tax page. That automatically added everything in there. As you can see, your CMA Criteria Explained is a editable page. You just click on it. Here's what the page said. I kind of redid it already. The person's name, I ran a search. I expand this based on what I want them to know I ran my search on, so they have a lot of information. Sometimes this is more detailed, sometimes it's not. I think, I don't know how many homes. I think we have 8 homes, I think 7 homes, whatever. I'm just showing you how to edit the page. Sometimes I get more into square footage, bathrooms, amenities, things like that. If I know certain things or areas, I'll really expand what I write in here. The biggest reason I'm showing you this is at the bottom of the page, this notes, these notes down here. It's the last note, but one of the most important notes is this CMA is not an appraisal. You don't pitch it as an appraisal. You're not a licensed appraiser. You know, they can't use this for any financing or anything like this. This is truly just a comparative market analysis. And I make sure that I put in here, this is not an appraisal. This other paragraph I came up with because I'm letting them know it's based on market activity at the time the CMA was prepared. I've given potential clients CMAs, and 4 months later they called me up. Well, the market could have shifted up or down. And so I let them know it's based on the value at the time it was prepared, and market conditions are always changing. The first paragraph is the one that over the years I found that I had to add. And I'm telling you that I prepared it having not walked through your home. Therefore, it does not offer a suggested list price until having seen the quality, fit, finish, and amenities that your home has to offer. That's what I put in there. And I just put that in there. Now, if you want to include something about a suggested list price, if you feel really confident about that, you can include something in there as well. But I'm just showing you what I have as my notes at the bottom of my summary page, that this part never really changes. I just adjust my top as needed. I didn't make any changes. I'll just hit save. Okay, get out of there. But I don't want this page down here at the bottom. I want it all the way up near the top, right after what is a CMA. Okay. I also don't like my contact page, this personal preference right at the top. I like that one all the way down at the bottom. The Zillow one, remember I said I'm going to put it right after the online value analysis page. There's my online value analysis page. I'm going to put my Zillow page right there. What I did was I screenshotted the Zillow, you know, when I looked it up online, I screenshotted the Zillow, and then I saved it to my desktop and then cropped it so the page looks just like that. So it's saying their range is 363 to 401. So, and on the online value analysis, as we know, here's going to be, you know, what Zillow's saying was going on in the market. So these are all the pages that I like to make up my CMA. Again, I have an unsaved template now because I added pages to it, so I'm going to resave it, and I'm going to call it Lewis CMA. Again, and I'm going to save it, and because it has more pages, as you can see, you know, it's just going to save it as my save as my template with 20 pages. So we are good with that. Lewis CMA. At this point, you can publish the report. And I'll show you what it looks like when it's published. This is what, when you're publishing the report, this is what it would come out if you wanted to print it out and give it to somebody. Click on View PDF, and here's what my whole CMA would look like. You have the first page, what is a CMA? Your CMA Criteria Explained, everything in there looks good. The map of comparable listings, summary, the listings chapter. Now, I'm just showing you what this looks like. I'm going to go back and take this out. The reason I take it out is because I don't do tabbed pages, and I don't want extra pages in there that aren't really needed that show the listings. If you like this page in there and you want to leave it in there, by all means, leave it in. And then you have your comparable homes. Here's your first home with the max data on it. And then it shows all the photos that they have. Here's the second comparable home, and then it has all the photos. In this case, it has three full pages of photos, et cetera, all the way down. I'm going to go quickly to get through all the homes. And, oh, there's a lot. All the way down. Come on. Then you have the analyst chapter. Here's where you get the comparable property statistics, our online value analysis, my Zillow page, sold property analysis. The homes average got 98.2% of their list price, 30 days on the market. Things like that. The closing chapter and those extra pages I included, including the BS&A document, tax document, and the local market update, so they can kind of see what's going on in the market update. If you're not sure what this page is, take our market stats class, and it's about an hour-long class, and there's some great information in there. And I pulled this from there, from that area, so that they can see kind of what's trending in their neighborhood. And of course, the last page is contact me. That's a great CMA. It's 48 pages long. Now, early on, I used to give these CMAs, and I thought they were great. I had all these photos in it and everything else. And my personal experience, this is just me giving you my little experience on it. You do whatever you like. First off, 48 pages is too long. They don't look at it. Secondly, what I find when you start including all these photos like this, they start looking at what the house has in it and comparing furniture and other items like that, not so much amenities in the homes. And I don't want them looking at another person's personal property and focusing on what the home has in it that really doesn't affect the value of the home. So having said all that, and a 48-page CMA, that's a lot to print out. When I print out a CMA, I usually send it to any of the office companies in the area that do printing. I email it a couple hours ahead of time. Because there's one in particular I use near my home, so I already have the email set up that goes. I ask for a heavier weighted paper because I'm going to print it out in color, and I'm going to print it on two sides sides. So by having a heavier weight paper and printing in color on both sides, so I don't have 48 individual pages, it's a much better looking report. I asked to have it spiral bound with a clear cover on it. It's going to cost me, honestly, a report like this is probably going to cost me about $15 to do. But again, I'm going after almost $300,000, $400,000 listing. For me as an agent, it's a worthwhile $15 investment to try to separate me from everybody else that they may be talking to, and it helps set the standards for the quality of realtor that I am for them. That's my own personal view. You don't have to do this. Having said all that, 48 pages is really expensive, and it has a lot of information I really don't want them, it's not necessarily not to see, but it's not relevant to my discussion with them regarding pricing. So how do I get around that? Well, I'm going to go back into this CMA, and I'm going to go back into customize. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the layout. First off, I'm going to get rid of intelligent pricing and timing because I don't use that one. Commission distribution. I'm also going to take out all these chapters. Remember, we had the analyst chapter, closing chapter, listing chapter. I'm going to remove all those pages. And under layout, we had photo with max data. Now we have a 2-column comparison. What a 2-column comparison is, they won't let me show that. I'm gonna have to save this again so I don't lose what I did. Save. Well, I spelled it wrong, but it's okay. We're gonna publish this report just so you can see what the difference between a 2, 3, and 4-column comparison is. What a 2-column comparison is go down here. It shows the property's current for sale and my pending property. My property is, you get 2 properties on a single page, and I don't know why I didn't do it on these earlier ones. But you get, that's what a 2-column comparison looks like. I've eliminated all those photos that I had. I went down to 21 pages. If I go back to customize in the 3-column comparison, this is the one I use quite a bit, is the 3-column comparison. Publish this report. And you'll see what a 3-column comparison looks like. Again, I got to scroll through a couple of pages, excuse me, for you to see what it looks like in the PDF. We'll scroll through that, get down here. Here's what the 3-column comparison looks like. Actives, pendings, closed, and it just gives you 3 pages per sheet. I like this a lot better because what it does is it shows you straight across the board. They can see everything. They kind of know where the properties were, and we're not getting all caught up into the individual everythings that's in each home. It makes my discussion with them with the CMA a lot quicker because now we're talking home prices to home prices and what the value of your home is worth. And I don't want to get into that subjective opinion as to whether their kitchen looks better than the other kitchen, or my potential client's home feels that they have a nicer kitchen layout or nicer bathroom layout or better tile than the other home had, right? Because that's subjective to the owner. Somebody coming in, as we all know, you could have a brand new renovated kitchen and someone can walk in and say, oh my God, I don't like those cabinets. We got to renovate this whole place. So I like doing this. It allows my conversation to stick more with home prices, what they sold for versus what your property is worth. The other one I'm going to show you is under Customize 4-column comparison. And what 4-column comparison does is 4-column comparison includes the subject property along with the 3 other ones. So if you remember, in the beginning, when I filled out that information on the subject property, the square footage and all that, here you go. The subject property is first, and it fills in a lot of this information that goes in here, right? So now, the style, I could have typed in colonial, and it would have showed up colonial just like this does. I would go back and put in colonial. But you can see now now they can go line by line with the 4-column comparison. And in as many pages as you have, it'll always show the subject property first and then the rest of the properties. This becomes really nice for them to understand You know, the year built, they're all, this one's a little higher from 79 to 01. But you can see that, you know, the baths, bedrooms, all that other stuff. You can see all that in there, and it's a quick comparison now when I'm having that conversation with them. So I either use the 3 or 4 column comparison when I generate a CMA. I do the same process where I go through and I send it all to my printer, have it printed out, and that I give them a spiral bound copy of this. I also print out one in black and white for myself, just so I have, if I have to make any notes while I'm talking with them, I have that. So if you like this and it looked good in the PDF, there are several things you can do with it now. You can, at this point, you can view it live. Live is a pretty good tool that we really finalized more when we weren't allowed to view with people, meet face to face. And so what it does is it loads up this whole template where you can go through and send it to them, and you can do a live almost like a Zoom meeting with them and walk through the your pages in the CMA with your potential client, where they stay in your place and you stay in yours. I don't really use this. I like to do the face-to-face of it. But if you're an agent that likes doing that kind of stuff, become familiar with these different pages and how the live version works when you start your presentation with your client. Maybe create a CMA and send it to somebody you know, within your household where you can do it, or some other friend or family member, and walk them through it and make sure it goes well, or another agent. That's a great tool to use if you want to use the live version of it. You also have a couple other options here. You can email the report as it is, as a PDF. You can copy the PDF link and send it to somebody as a link. And if we go back to the CMAs, so what I usually do at this point is that if I can't meet with them, then I'm gonna email it to them. Right here where the 3 dots are, it also allows you to view the slideshow. And so to view the slideshow is nice if you have the ability, if you want to go to their home, they can come to your office, and if you have the capabilities to connect to your screen in your office, in the conference room or whatever, you pull this up, and down here is kind of your guide where to go in the lower right corner. It kind of resets your pages, and then here are all the different properties that you have. Sold homes. Now we've picked up a down arrow here. If I click on this little down arrow, it'll tell you the sold properties. It's kind of cute, a little interactive. Now it brings me through all the different properties, all the different photos, things like that. So it's a little different if you want to do this where you're in your office with them. It's called the slideshow. Excuse me. So that is, again, up here on the 3 dots. It's called the view the slideshow. So you have multiple options once you generate a CMA. The biggest one I like to use is the PDF. I usually send everybody, once it's open in the PDF, I just email them the PDF. So that kind of summarizes everything that's available through CloudCMA. So again, and then I'm going to do some other wrap-up things. I just want to wrap up how we do CMAs. There are 2 ways to do them. The first one is through Paragon, where you get the CMA summary, which is the 1-page summary, which you find over here under reports, under the CMA summary. The other way is you create you take the actions and you go to CloudCMA and you create a CloudCMA presentation for them, for your clients. It'll be saved here. You can come back to it at any time, open it up, edit it, do what you need to do. That's kind of the 2 ways to do CMAs. The big difference between the one through Paragon and the CloudCMA is you're going to be able to compare your subject property, the potential listing, to your other properties. So with that kind of wraps up a little bit of the CMA stuff, but we're not quite done with what CloudCMA has to offer. I said earlier, if you want to change your information on your page, if you go to your account settings, when this page loads, here's where you change your avatar. If you get a new photo, when you have your photos redone, you can add it here. Your email, your company profile. Over here on the left, you have your contact info. This is my profile info. I have my contact info. And here's where you can add in your Facebook and everything else if you wanted to add it in here. Facemail, LinkedIn, all the Twitter account. You can put them all in here. Those will show up on your pages down below. Okay. So again, to find those, it's you click on your photo up here, profile, and contact info is right in there. One other feature of Cloud CMA that I like to touch on is under here, under Cloud CMA, we also discussed this in our lead generation class. I'm going to go through it real quickly, but if you wanted to create a lead generation, CMA gives you this page that's called What's My Home Worth. I'm going to go through this really quickly because it's kind of part of a lead generation class. We're just reinforcing it whenever we do the Cloud CMA class. If someone were to click on this landing page, I'll show you how it all works in a second. But when you click on the view landing page, you can copy this, embed this in your, if you have a website, you can embed it in your website. If you do a blog and people log in on there, you can embed it on a blog. If you post on Facebook, you can post this on, you can copy this link onto Facebook, and this becomes one of your subject content. You know, if you're looking for content 2 or 3 times a month, this can be one of those pages that just pop up. We've had agents who've gone home from the lead generation class or the Cloud CMA, and they've tried this on Facebook. They might not get anybody on it, or they might get, you know, 5 or 6 people on it. It's one of those things that if you keep using it, it's hit or miss, but again, it doesn't cost you anything, and I'll show you why it's really nice. I'm going to put in my address, Springbrook Drive, Sterling Heights. It showed up right here. So it says we found it. They have to put in their name. I'm going to put in, well, we'll leave it at that. The email, they have to put in their email in order to get the CMA. So I'm using this email. Optional. They don't need that. So all they got is their name and that, and an email. So you click on email report. So what'll happen is your report is on the way. Here's why I like this a lot. If you go open up your emails, there it is, and I go to that. Here it is. Here's what they will see, just so you can see what it look like. Here's what that potential person that clicked on your Facebook page, and it's there. It comes from me. Your complimentary CMA. Okay, so it's branded from me. Little blurb about it, and if they click right here, this is the report that they're going to see. Quick CMA, homes that they pulled, and a little bit about each home, and blah, blah, blah. There's no pricing in it, in the contact me. There's no pricing in this. That's what they're going to see. Okay, it generated their interest. Maybe they're happy with it, maybe they're not. But the nice thing about it is, you as the agent, this is what you receive when they do that. You as the agent, after they enter their information, says, Chris Nickson, you have a new lead. And when I click on this, it gives me their email address. If they put in the phone, I would get that. And it also shows me the CMA that they received. It'll show me the same thing I just pulled up. But what's nice about it is you're getting, if it's a valid email, you at least have somebody to reach out to. And now you can say, hey, I saw that you wanted information about your home, whatever you want to send to them, but now it gives you an opportunity to reach back out to them. And when you go back to all the CMAs, Cloud CMA right here. See, here was the one that came. This was the one I was working on, the Tara Lewis one. Here's the one that the person just gave me my first name, which in my case was myself. Here's the one that just went out to them. So to get the format that you want for those, it's in a lead generation class. I'm going to walk through it real quickly on how to do it. You would come over here. When you would create a new, sorry, you would create a new report, and it's going to be a CMA. And we come up here and you're going to title it Web Lead Template. Okay. And then we're going to fetch listings. It'll work. Address can't be blank. You put in any address you want. It doesn't matter, because all we're trying to do is save the template that you're going to use for your web link. So now we're going to hit fetch listings. And once this comes up and loads, we don't need any MLS criteria down there. When we go to customize, and you go to templates, you have to go to built-in templates. And again, we covered this in our lead generation class. And these are the built-in templates you can use. I spent the time of going through each one to see what they look like. And I liked, I think it was the comps only one I used. I didn't like the buyer's CMA. I went through comps only. And then you have to rename it. This is the most important thing. Sorry. You have to, that's that. You got to come in and you have to rename the save 8 pages. You have to rename it as web lead. I know it's a little confusing. You might want to follow up on the YouTube video on it, or take our lead generation class. And when you click save, now when you go up here to the custom pages and we go to lead generation and you embed this in your Facebook or whatever, that's the template that they're automatically going to go to. If you don't go through those steps, then the CMA that they're going to get is the CMA that was your last saved template. So mine would have been the Lewis template. All those pages would have been in there. So while you're on this lead generation real quickly, if you want to copy that link, it's right here. You click on copy link, and then you have that link and you can copy it wherever, or you can just embed it in either one of these automatically, and it'll go right there, and it'll put it on Facebook for you, or whatever you need to do. So that's on the lead generation page. Again, that's something that you take our lead gen class and they cover it in much more detail. I just wanted to kind of show you how CloudCMA works and some of the advantages that you can get by going through CloudCMA. So again, that's it for CMA. We've wrapped it up on your quick summary CMA, or going to CloudCMA. If I go to the home page, this is the last part of this little seminar. We're going to wrap it up here in a few more minutes. From the home page, we have the YouTube page, which is right here in the middle blue bar of your home Paragon page. Here's where Debbie takes the time to edit and download all our training videos. They're all right here if you see one you like. I even come back here and watch some of the ones that some of the other agents have done just to refresh my skills. We ask that you subscribe and like to the YouTube page. That helps get us, the more people we get subscribed to the page, just the better off it is for MiRealSource. There's a lot of great information in here. If you want to see any of these seminars, Debbie will edit down this seminar that I did, and you can kind of fast forward through where you need to get the information that you want, or maybe I went through a little quickly. Also in here on the main home page in the upper right corner, it's kind of hard to see, you have this little button that says MLS. This takes you to the MLS page. We have some quick tips over here, quick links that you can go to if you're looking for different things. But also, it doesn't matter if where you're at on the Paragon homepage in the upper right corner, again, where it says MLS Documents. If you click on MLS Documents under MIRS Education, this is where Debbie stores all of our PDFs, some of our training and everything else that has been done. So you can click on CloudCMA Handout, the full version, for instance. This is a whole PDF that kind of walks you through everything if you want to see what's in there. And those are some great tools to help you get through if you're stuck on stuff. Again, that's up here where it says MLS Documents. And I got to close that tab. MLS Documents. MIRS education, they're all in there. So that's where you find the stuff from the home page. Either through our YouTube page, please go to it, like and subscribe and like, or MLS documents. That pretty much wraps up the CMA class. Again, it's a very, very, very powerful tool to help establish yourself as, you know, a real estate professional and a knowledgeable professional in the market area. Again, they can pull all kinds of information. Your potential client is online. This is helping you set the standard of just why they should use you as their agent. So don't underestimate the CMAs. When you can, try to do a cloud CMA. And also don't forget the quick summary CMA that is through Paragon is a great way if you want to show your buyers a composite overview of what's been going on with the homes they've been looking at. Real quickly, I'll show you a search that I have saved in there, a saved property search. This is a client I've been working with. I keep adding all their homes that we look at to my search. Here they are. Here are all the addresses down below. I'm not going to show you how to do anything. I just want to show you what the search is. And when I run this report, they can see on the summary report, again, these are buyers. They can see every property. The other day I ran this, there were only 5 that were sold. Look at all the ones that were sold. And they can start seeing the difference between the asking price. This one was asked at $318. We actually wrote an offer on it. We were unsuccessful, and it went for $346. So they can kind of see what's going on there. And that's why I used, this one had a concession of $350. So anyways, as you can tell, Clouds or CMA in Paragon has more uses other than just trying to prepare a subject property for what it's worth. I use this to help my buyers understand what's going on in this unique market that we're facing now. That's it. I appreciate you guys logging in today. If you have any questions, reach out to Debbie. She's great at answering them. And I'm glad that you guys were here. Good luck to you all and keep selling. And hopefully this was beneficial to you. Enjoy your day.